Close your eyes for a second. Picture a place where trees swallow the sunlight, where water whispers secrets over stone, where a quiet country road makes your car climb uphill, and where the past stands still behind iron gates. Connecticut, small, green, New England, hides pockets of true weirdness. Tonight we're peeling back the polite postcard to walk into 5 of the state's strangest, eeriest corners. Some are open to the public, some are not. All of them still give people the chills. 1. Dudleytown. We begin in the dark entry forest, a bowl of trees pressed together so tightly the sun fights to reach the ground. Tucked inside is Dudleytown, a settlement that died out a century and a half ago, and then somehow was reborn as a legend. Stories say crops failed, families went mad, and a curse followed the name Dudley. The truth is messier. It was a struggling farming community like many others in the 1800s that people left when better land opened up. But once the rumor engine started, the tales grew teeth. People swore they heard voices, saw strange lights, or felt watched in the valley. Because of harassing visitors and vandalism over the years, the land where Dudleytown sits is privately owned and closed to the public as a protected forest. If you want the story, go through the history books, but don't try to walk the ruins. That barrier between curiosity and trespass has helped keep the place mysterious. 2. Devil's Hopyard. From the shadowed valley to open water, our path leads east to Devil's Hopyard State Park. Here, sandstone bluffs drop into pools that reflect the sky like black glass, and Chapman Falls tumbles into a gash in the rock. There's a story attached to those round potholes. Some say the devil himself left a hoof print in the stone while fleeing up the falls. Whether you believe in the devil or not, sit on the rocks in the early morning and you'll feel a different kind of chill, the constant small roar of water and something very old in the stones. Crucially, this is a place you can visit. Devil's Hopyard is a public state park, open daily and popular with hikers and photographers. Walk the trails, stand above the plunge pool, and imagine the early settlers who named this place after something darker than a hopping vine. 3. Gravity Hill, the road that tricks your eyes. Now picture a quiet country lane. The trees lean over the road like cathedral ribs. You stop your car at the bottom of a slight slope, put it in neutral, and the vehicle seems to roll uphill. It's the kind of trick that makes you slam the brakes, then laugh nervously at yourself. This is Sterling's Gravity Hill, the optical illusion that has spawned more than a few ghost stories, including one about a witch named Margaret Henry, who, legend says, still nudges cars away from her land. Scientists are less dramatic. Gravity hills work because the horizon is hidden, and the surrounding landscape fools your brain about which way is uphill. But legends don't care about physics. They care about the moment your skin goes tight and your friends start to whisper. The spot is on public residential roads, so if you drive out, be respectful. You're in people's neighborhoods, not a movie set. 4. Union Cemetery. From roadside illusions to graveyard whispers, Union Cemetery in Easton is one of those places that seems older than time. The stones here go back to the 1700s, their names worn soft by centuries of weather. The cemetery picked up a darker reputation in the late 20th century when well-known paranormal investigators claimed to have captured a white lady on film, a pale figure seen slipping between the headstones or appearing on the road beside the cemetery. Witness accounts range from the strange to the unnerving, drivers reporting a woman in white at the roadside, even claims from local first responders who say they once hit something that left a dent but no blood or body. Whether the white lady is sorrow made manifest, a folklore staple, or a string of misremembered moments, the place hums with story. Union Cemetery is publicly accessible during the day, but, like most graveyards, it's closed after dark. Go during daylight, walk slowly, and let the history press against you. 5. Holy Land, USA. Our last stop looks, at a glance, like a chapel left on a stage mid-scene, a huge illuminated cross on a hill, replica villages half-standing, the ghostly outlines of a once festive place called Holy Land, USA. Built in the 1950s as a live, family-friendly biblical attraction, it closed in the 1980s and fell into ruin. In 2014, the cross was refurbished and the site reopened on weekends. But the park's decay and a grisly 2010 murder near the property hardened its reputation as haunted. The death of a young girl whose body was found near the site shifted local talk from nostalgic loss to chilling headlines. Today, the cross can be seen glowing on the hill during daytime visits, and the crumbling nativity scenes make for a strangely cinematic backdrop, one that looks almost staged for a horror film, even though these are real places with real grief tied to them. If you visit, remember, part of what makes Holy Land, USA eerie is that it is a space of faith that time forgot, and the stories people tell their mix devotion with loss. The site is currently accessible to the public during daylight hours. Why these places matter? You might be asking, why hunt ghosts at all? Why stand at a waterfall and imagine hoofprints, or park a car on a road and wait to be fooled? Places like Dudleytown, Devil's Hopyard, Gravity Hill, Union Cemetery, and Holy Land, USA are not just tourist curiosities, they're social mirrors. They reflect what a community fears and what it remembers. Legends gather meaning over the years. An abandoned house becomes cursed, not because the beams creak, but because memory and story pile on top of the facts. A park is named for the devil not because devils roam, but because a people tried to explain a place that felt dangerous. A road becomes haunted because people love the small thrill of defying logic. These sites are where history, myth, and the human need for narrative meet. Safety, respect, and the thin line between thrill and trespass. If you're curious enough to visit, remember 2 rules. First, always check access rules. Some places, Dudleytown for instance, are private and off-limits for good reasons, including safety and conservation. Others, state parks and town cemeteries, welcome visitors but expect respectful behavior. Second, treat the living and the dead with dignity. Don't climb fences, don't pull down crosses, and don't treat real tragedies like props for a viral video. Ghost stories are fun, but the people tied to these places deserve our respect. A challenge for you, the listener. Before we go, here's a small experiment. Think of the strangest place you've ever driven through, a hollow that felt colder, a field where your hair stood on end. Why did it feel strange? Was it the light? The story you'd heard? Or was it something your eyes and ears were telling you? Because sometimes the scariest thing is the human mind trying to stitch meaning together from small, lonely details. Now it's your turn. Which of these places made your skin crawl the most? Have you ever visited any of them, or stood on a road that made your car go uphill on its own? Do you think these are real hauntings or just powerful stories that keep growing? Drop your experience in the comments. Tell us the exact spot and what you felt. If you've got a Connecticut ghost story we missed, share that too. We'll read your tales, compare notes, and maybe, just maybe, return for a midnight follow-up if the comments bring a new lead. If you liked this wander through Connecticut's weirder side, hit subscribe. Because somewhere in this state, another strange map is waiting, and we've only just begun to trace the lines.